Hello guys, my name is LK Scott and welcome to the Scariest Fearless Woman segment of On a Journey To. I really hope that you enjoy this segment. Just letting you guys know that this is a no judgment free zone. So when you watch this video, please be respectful of everyone who is on this video and make sure we're not gossiping about people, because when people gossip about people, we have issues coming our ways. So I hope you enjoy this segment. Enjoy. My name is Lauren Scott. I'm from Fort Worth, Texas. I'm 32 years old and I'm on a journey to being bold. All right, question number 1. When you look back over your life, what are some lessons that you have learned? I have learned that it's okay to have emotions. It's okay for you to be your authentic self. For so long, I looked into putting on a facade for men. That was my thing. I was boy crazy. Not only boy crazy, but more so of gaining that attention that I did not receive, or I thought I didn't receive from family members or just people that I thought loved me. I can remember at one point in time where I was on this off and on relationship with this one guy, and I know I wasn't being myself around him, but because I wanted him so bad, I put on this face for him, or I did things that I did not like, but I did it anyways because I wanted to please him. I can also think about the friends that I have had. I thought I needed to be a certain way in order for me to, be friends with them, and I wasn't myself with them. I can give you an example, like the friends that I had in high school. We used to talk about people all the time. Like, we didn't care who you were, we talked about you all the time. And that's because I know now that we weren't confident in ourselves. And because we weren't confident in ourselves, we would talk about other people, or we were insecure. I know me, I was insecure, at a young age. I could think about even going back to the elementary years when one person had told me, and I'll also say, be careful with the words that you say to people. I remember sitting in a circle in 6th grade, and this girl is bringing bracelets, passing out pretty girl bracelets to everybody. And I overheard her telling the girl who was making those pretty girl bracelets, don't give her a pretty girl bracelet. She's not pretty, she's ugly. And for so long, I thought that I wasn't beautiful because of that one person who told me that I wasn't beautiful enough. And so me thinking that my body wasn't good enough or my face wasn't good enough, I would use my body for men. I would flaunt my body for men. Like, you couldn't tell me that I wasn't fine. I would wear the shortest dress, I would wear the highest heels, even though I was bow-legged and it looked like I couldn't walk in my heels. But I would just do that because I wanted that attention. I wanted to feel beautiful, and I thought that's what I needed to do in order for me to feel beautiful. So those lessons that I'm learning is you are beautiful inside and out. And also, you don't have to put on a mask for anybody. You could be your authentic self. And if you can't be your authentic self around people, then that means you don't need to be around them. Another life lesson I've learned, I used to be real sexually active, and I would say soul ties, those soul ties, they carry you and they manipulate your mind. And I would say your body is a temple, and I didn't know that my body was a temple. And so I went to this stage where I felt like I don't want love, I just want sex. I'm gonna have sex with you, and I'm going to treat you like a dude. Like, I thought, okay, I'm gonna act like a dude at one point in time. And so I would go to guys' houses and do my thing with them. And then after that, I would put my pants on and I'd be like, okay, I'll see you later. And they'd be like, dang, girl, like, why are you doing that? Like, I want you to stay with me. But I was like, no, I'm good. Because I thought, I done satisfied you and I done satisfied the lust I had inside myself. And I have learned now that you don't have to do that. Your body is a temple and you want to make sure your body is sacred to you. And I thank God for my husband, because my husband has shown me what true love is. And I was looking for love sex-wise. And I have learned by the grace of God that you don't have to love people through your body. You love people. Well, people need to love you through your mind, through your heart, through your spirit, emotionally, not always physically, but emotionally and spiritually. So those are some life lessons that have learned throughout my 32 years. Okay, number 2, let's see. Now that you have experienced some things in life, what advice would you give other women? And I think I've already answered that question, but that's okay. I'm gonna say the advice that I would give to women is to don't rush and be patient about the things that God is going to give you. Like, I know I have been praying for certain things. Like, I remember early in my stages, I was praying for a husband, but I knew I wasn't ready. And you have to be patient, because God will give you what you need, but you got to learn patience. Another advice I would give you is to forgive yourself for the things that you have done. Like, I remember feeling guilty when I did have London, and because I wasn't married. And I had to realize that child of mine was actually a gift from God. And I feel like God was saving me from what I was going through. And I had to forgive myself for being in sin. And I'm still forgiving myself for doing things that I know is out of the will of God. I have had an abortion before, and it has killed me, but I have learned to forgive myself, because I know that I make mistakes, and I have to realize that just because you can't see the sin doesn't mean that you're not forgiven, okay? And I've had to forgive myself over and over again through these years, and telling myself, yes, you sinned, but God still loves you in spite of what you did. And so forgiving yourself for things that you felt like you have done, you have to allow yourself to be forgiven, and allow you to know that God is going to forgive you no matter what you do. So whatever things that you feel like God is not going to forgive you for, I advise you to pray to Him and ask Him for that forgiveness. But when you ask Him for that forgiveness, please allow yourself not to go backwards and look backwards. Remember, it's just like you putting it in a lockbox and throwing it in the lake. Once you throw it in the lake, you're not gonna go in the water and you're gonna swim back for it. You gotta make sure that when you ask for forgiveness, you seal it and you don't talk about it no more, because God has already forgiven you for that. So that's one of the advice that I would give our women. Whew. Number 3, I'm on a journey too. I'm on a journey to being bold. And the reason why I'm on a journey to being bold is because I feel like in my family, we have generational patterns. And I want to be the one, and I want my family to be the one to break those generational patterns. For so long, we have swept things up under the rug because we feel like that's what we need to do. And instead of communicating and talking and not talking to each other, we need to start communicating and talking to each other, because in those uncomfortable moments and in those uncomfortable situations, I feel like that you break things that need to be broken, and you need to hear things that need to be said. I feel like that sometimes we tend to not tell people how we feel because we're afraid of what they're going to say back, or we're afraid that they're not going to listen to you. But you can't be afraid to speak how you feel. But with speaking how you feel, you also got to learn how to make sure if they have something to say that they don't like, be able to chew on that and see how they're feeling. Because if you can't see how, it's like you being a teacher, you have to be the teacher and the student. If you can't be the teacher and the student at the same time, then that's where friction comes through. And so that's why I want to be bold. I want to be bold for my daughter and for my nieces, because I know I see greatness in them. And if I see greatness in them, then I need to see greatness in myself and need to be bold on certain things, like speaking my mind, or doing things like this at this particular moment. Because right now I'm very uncomfortable. But I know that me doing this, it's not about me. And I'm just being a servant, and I'm being a body for the body of Christ. And I want to make sure that I'm in the kingdom of light and not the kingdom of darkness. So that's why I chose to be on a journey of being bold. And I really hope that you're able to find your journey and see what you need to do to ensure that you're on the path of your journey. And if you venture out off the path of your journey, make sure to step back and see why and what is causing you to not be on your journey. So I'm gonna be bold, I'm gonna be fearless, and I'm going to break these generational patterns, and I'm going to ensure when I do it that I am making sure that I edify Christ as well.